Hey friends, this is Jordan with O & Co Games. Our team of 3, Ray, Noah, and myself, are making a pixel platformer that is focused on satisfying levels of difficulty and consciously crafted storytelling. The game is called Tethergeist, and welcome to our devlog. Up until this point, Tethergeist has been built around one specific movement mechanic, the ability to split and rejoin with your spirit. Chapter 1 of the game only explores this mechanic in one way. The spirit can move freely within a short range of the character. I'm really proud of how well we've riffed on this singular mechanic with things like platforms that only move while the spirit is split, walls that only the spirit can pass through, and smoky areas in which the spirit can't be activated. But if I'm being totally honest, this is more or less just a remix of Celeste's Dash, and we can't build a feature-length game on this idea alone. So of course we're not going to. Over the past 2 years, we've been brainstorming different and unique ways to explore this idea of splitting and rejoining. How can the spirit move differently? How can we leverage game design principles of movement like timing, environmental interactions, and momentum to create truly satisfying maneuvers for our players? We've narrowed down our ideas, and as I've been developing the wireframe functionality for them, I've got to say I've never been more excited about the future of Tethergeist than I am today. We've scoped out 8 total chapters for our game, and each chapter will present a uniquely different way to split and rejoin with your spirit. For this video, I want to just dive into the mechanics that we have in store for Chapter 2. So in Tethergeist, the player must stock up on nectar to be able to use their spirit ability. Since each chapter is going to have unique nectar types, I first had to build the functionality to stockpile them. The nectar device is built to track an array of 5 nectar slots, and using macros in GameMaker Studio, I defined the various nectar types that will populate the array. So it's built to handle any sequential combination of colors based on which ones the player picks up. I think building it this way will allow for us to make some really interesting combinations of spirit abilities later in the game once the player has had time to master each one. The nectar type for Chapter 2, this green type, which by the way is just represented by temporary artwork for now, will allow May to sort of hookshot to these bubbles when she's in range. Now this probably goes without saying, but all of this is in wireframe mode right now. The actual artwork in this chapter is obviously going to look way better, and it'll follow our principles of visual design and world building. Chapter 2 in particular is going to be a fungal forest brimming with life, but also hostile towards humans, much like the toxic jungle in Princess Nausicaa. Anyway, I won't go too much into the details since this is probably a topic better suited for one of Ray's art-focused devlogs. At any rate, this green nectar ability is playing more off of elements of momentum and environmental interactions than the simple yellow ability from Chapter 1. May retains her momentum when she rejoins with her spirit here, and players need to strategically time when they activate the rejoin motion to ensure they're launching in the direction they want to go. I've played around quite a bit with this mechanic, and it's feeling pretty fun. I've also added these reverse bubbles that will actually push May in the opposite direction rather than pull her towards them. Being fully transparent here, this movement system is totally inspired by Brandon Sanderson's fantasy fiction Mistborn novels. If you know, you know. Beyond the spirit ability, I've also created mechanics that play off of the fungal forest theme we'll be using for Chapter 2. I built these objects that emit plumes of dangerous pollens. While they're currently just represented by clunky red blocks, hopefully they are adequately conveying the behavior we're aiming for here. I've also created these sticky walls that will allow players to dictate their rhythm in various sections of the chapter and time their jumps to avoid obstacles. I think all of these mechanics are working really nicely together and should make for a fun and unique experience in Chapter 2. Obviously, just my opinion isn't enough to confirm we're headed in the right direction, so in true O & Co fashion, I'll be conducting playtests very soon on this chapter once I've built out my first pass at level designs. If you want to be included in the list of playtesters, feel free to join our Discord server using the link below, and I will let you know as soon as we're ready to start conducting playtests for this chapter. Anyway, that will about wrap things up for now. I have mechanics for the rest of the chapters that I am stoked to share with you guys in future videos, but for now, hopefully you can just feel my excitement for how well Chapter 2 is coming along. If you'd like to stay in the loop on our progress, please subscribe here to our YouTube channel and join our Discord server. We also have a playtestable build of Chapter 1 on Steam, so head over there, and if you like what you see, we'd be honored to have you wishlist Tethergeist on Steam as well. All of the links you need are in the description below. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.